My warm greetings to all of you. It's a big global crisis we are battling right now. We are consumed with this battle. It has no parallels in history. It has changed everything in the world. And in fact, what we always took our common well being granted, it's no longer the case. So it's a very catastrophic health emergency. We have seen lockdowns. We are using words like social distancing. We have seen tragic loss of life, and we have also seen massive economic slowdown. See, for us in consulate also, these are very hard times, very challenging times. We are operating with our essential staff. We are supported by our staff, which is working from home, and we are trying our earnest best to help and facilitate whatever we can. So, for us, our foreign ministry is that is what we get our all guidance from. We have COVID cell in our Ministry of External Affairs, that is our foreign ministry. So the COVID cell is operational 24/7, and it is the one which is proactive in crisis management situation. They are giving us various advisories from time to time as the situation is evolving. And the situation is continuously evolving, and we are monitoring it very hard to give optimal response so that our people get the best possible advice. Uh, as far as our consulate is concerned, see, we have received 1,000 mails and telephone calls as of today. We have tried to respond each and everybody. We have returned the calls as much as we can. We are still counting, and the various queries which we have received, my colleague has already told you about them. People wanted to have extension of visa. We guided them how to approach the website of US Department of Homeland Security. People have had their passport who came here for short term duration. The passport got expired. So we explained such people that they should apply for passport at the consulate by post. They should give documents. We can give them, after fulfilling the formalities, we can give them passport, or at least we can give them a valid travel document to return back to India. Then we got various queries on supply of food, medicines, accommodation, things like that. And in this, our community helped us so much. Everybody, I cannot thank them enough, because they just at the we gave them call and immediately they responded, and that is how we have been able to help each and everybody, and that's the strong partnership. In fact, my ambassador told that our community is extraordinary uh, source of strength for us. So that's how we were able to deal with so many queries and phone calls and those helplines and things we could operate. So that was that. The most important thing was the people were asking all about the evacuation, when I can return back to India. Many of you must have seen the advisory put up by the government of India that we are going to commence this operation from 7th May onwards. In fact, as we speak, there is a first flight which is going from Abu Dhabi, from Gulf, and we will also have flights from USA. So the government of India has taken two operations. One is called Vande Bharat and another is called Samudra Setu. So Vande Bharat is for facilitating air travel, and Samudra Setu is for facilitating the travel by sea. So it's a big evacuation in history. It's 64 flights from 12 countries, and from US in the first phase we will have 7 flights. 2 from San Francisco, 2 from New York, 2 from Chicago, 1 from Washington. As far as our jurisdiction is concerned, we don't know where our people will be clubbed with, either with Washington or with Chicago. Those details are awaited, and we request you to monitor us regularly on social media handles. See, this is a big operation. You will have to bear with us, because people will have to register on the link which is provided on the Washington Embassy website. No other link is operational. It is the only link which is available. I know nowadays WhatsApp is a new media channel, so be aware of that. Only on embassy you have to register if you have compelling reasons. Compelling reasons is like students who have no place to stay because now the universities will be closing down. They don't have any place to go. Then there will be professionals who came, their visas have expired. Then there will be people who will have medical emergencies. So it goes on. So the compelling reasons are given by ministry. So you have to see that registration link will have drop down menu, and if you are there in that category, then you can do so. Then we will try and see whether you are inclined to undergo the quarantine in India, 14 days mandatory. And then these are all commercial flights, so it's on a payment basis. So these are non-scheduled commercial flights from the USA, which will be operating. The first flight was to start from 7th May, but somehow there is a pushback. Now the first flight from San Francisco is going to go on 9th of May. And then there will be other flights which will be from other locations. So we are continuously working on various modalities required to make this successful. So it's a little time consuming process. It's an arduous process, but we are top of on this matter. So we are doing on this evacuation aspect also, working very hard. We have given our lists, working on the lists with Washington and other our colleagues. Then we have also received queries regarding how I will have other aspects, like how I will get medicines. The API is there, American Association of Physicians of uh, Indian origin. So if I get flu-like symptoms, how I have to deal with that and things like that. So we are directing them to consult our physicians who are giving free guidance on that. So we are telling people that they must be acquainted with the safety guidelines. They should remain safe. They should stay safe. They should be fit. They should try and do yoga, meditation, and observe Ayush protocols like steam inhalation and all those sorts of things, so that their immunity remains boosted. And if the flu-like symptoms are there, how they have to go about it. They must know about the emergency responders in their area, the free clinics, the doctors, and things like that. So overall, our advisories are trying to help and tell people what to do and what are the things which they must be aware of. So I again reiterate that you must follow us on our social media handles. Please follow our advisories on Washington Embassy also, on our website also, because we retweet them from time to time. And it is our community organizations which they are really helpful in all these matters. In fact, consulate in partnership with them, we are working, we are proud of their achievement, and I'm sure this will be ongoing and sustained as far as we are concerned. So let us work together and with the spirit of unity and harmony, so that we tide over this crisis. So Jai Hind, but I will be here. My colleague is going to answer questions, whatever you have, and we have tried to select certain question in such a way that we can have a sort of a broad idea, and we can cover various different aspects of queries which we generally encounter in our consulate. Thank you so much.